Hello everyone, I hope that you are doing great today. Due to the cancellation of classes, we are now going to have the asynchronous. And with that, today we are going to talk about election. I know you have an idea what's election and why do we vote. Okay, and to understand further about this lesson, let's dive into it. Okay, now what goes into your mind when you hear the word election? Public officials elected, perhaps SK chairman, 18 years of age. I know these words goes into your mind when you hear the word election. Okay, so at the end of this lesson, you shall be able to define and explain the meaning of election, identify its types, and the basis as to which why we elect and that the purpose of having election. Okay, so let first things first. Election. So as you can see in the slide, it is a process by which voters in a country select the officials who will exercise the powers of government for a period fixed by law. As you see in the definition, it is a process. Okay, it involves a step-by-step process which the people would choose their leaders who will occupy, who will exercise powers in those specific positions which they are elected to. And they shall serve for a period of time, which we learned about this one in the previous quarter, right? So election, it is the day whereby people would exercise their political will, meaning people are now able to participate in the political process or governmental process, specifically in rendering, in casting their choices, whom they believe is more capable, responsible, trustworthy in a position that political leaders or political candidates aspires to. Okay, people now exercise their freedom, especially here in the Philippines, since we are living in a democratic country. People are free to choose, just like in election, whereby your fathers or perhaps your siblings who are registered voters, me personally, a registered voter is free to choose a political leader, a political candidate whom I believe is more than capable in serving the country or in serving the community where I reside at. Okay, so meaning freedom is that people should not be mandated, people should not be forced to choose a particular person to be in office. Again, because it is a sign, it is a right, okay, to choose whom you believe is suitable for that position. Okay, and in the context of the Philippines, election also manifests, or it's an exercise of a popular will, meaning a political candidate can win, okay, a position based on the popularity or based on the preference of the majority or of most people or the electorate. Meaning, kung sino ang may pinakamataas na boto coming from a popular, okay, perspective. Meaning, kung sino ang mas popular, sino ang gusto ng tao, siya ang mananalo. Again, because in the Philippines, using the 1987 Constitution, whereby people exercise their free will in choosing these political leaders. And so, nakikita ng gobyerno na, okay, because of the voters turnout or yung number ng tao na may gusto sa sa candidate na to, then so ito yung mananalo. Alright, so basically that's the main idea of the Philippine election. Okay, and speaking of election, there are actually two types of election. The first one is regular, the second one is special election. When we say regular election, it is the usual election conducted every 3 years for the local positions. For example, mayor, councilor, barangay kagawad, barangay captain, and also the SK chairperson. So when I say regular election, it is provided in the 1987 Constitution, or also known as the Fundamental Law of the Land, whereby a regular election should be conducted every 3 years for mayor. For example, in 2022, a mayor ran for office, and then after 3 years, there will be another election. So, winners of the regular election, of course, will serve the office for after the incumbent finish a full term. So remember, in our previous discussion, for example, a councillor after 3 years serving his office will run again for re-election if she wants to, or if he is allowed to have a re-election. Okay, now for the special election, from the term is special, it does not happen regularly because it is special. So there are factors as to why there will be a special election. So in the case of the Philippines, we conduct a special election if, a political leader failed to finish his term of office. Okay? Meaning, unexpired. Hindi natapos yung kanyang termino, so we have to elect another person who will continue the position. Okay? And that happens when the political leader died or incapacitated, nabaldado siya. She can no longer render the functions, and he can no longer serve the office. Or binawi sa kanya yung position, or that's a term recalled by the Commission on Election. Okay, so these are the two types of election in the Philippines. The first one is regular election, meaning it's the usual scheduled election. And in the Philippines, the regular election for our country, for mayor, councilor, ganon, after 3 years. Now in the Philippines, for the president, vice president, yes, happens, or also known as the national election, it happens every second Monday of May. So that's a regular election in the Philippines. Okay, now the basis of Filipinos, in exercising, in participating the election is provided under Article 5 of the 1987 Constitution, also known as suffrage, meaning any 18 years old in the Philippines should be a registered voter. What do I mean with that? Meaning if you're already 18 years old and above, maybe you can read or write, nor kung ano man ang tinapos mo, you should be a registered voter. Why? Because it is your basic right to choose a leader who would represent you, who will, manage the things in the community for the benefit of the people, also known as the common good. Alright? So, and 18 years old and above. Single or married, widower, or whatnot. Bading, bakla, tomboy, or straight, or whatever gender that you have. So it doesn't matter so long as you're 18 years old. Kulang man yung mata mo or sobra man yung mata mo, it doesn't matter. Now after that, a resident or a Filipino citizen who lived in the Philippines for at least a year should be able to vote, can vote rather. Meaning, paano yun, sir? Hindi ba kung ilan yung taon mo nag-exist ka na sa Philippines? No, it's not that case. Because there are rich people, or there are privileged individuals who are naturalized born Filipino citizens who choose to stay or study abroad, and so if they go back to the Philippines and stay here for a year, they can register to vote. Again, so long as they are natural born Filipinos. For a local position, for example, for mayor, city, vice mayors, kagawad, like that, an individual can vote for these positions if that person resided in that community, in that place, in that barangay for at least 6 months. For example, you are from Nueva Vizcaya, and then you are now residing in Baguio City, and you want to vote for mayor, vice mayor in Baguio City, you have to make sure that you have stayed in Baguio City for at least 6 months. Okay, so that is the basic qualification in electing positions, local positions in the local communities. Okay? Ayan siya. Now, who manages or who oversees the election? In the experience of the Philippines, in the context of our country, Commission on Election, or COMELEC, is the agency, alright, tasked to oversee, supervise the conduct of election. And when you say commission, it is one of the 3 constitutional commissions. So that means COMELEC is one of the 3 offices, commissions, okay, in the Philippines, where there should be a commission on elections. So it goes hand in hand with other commissions, wherein hindi pwedeng matanggal ang commission on election unless there will be a charter change or kung magpapalit tayo ng constitution. But since we are under the 1987 constitution, meaning we have to have a commission on election whereby they will enforce laws, regulations in relation to the conduct of election, plebiscite, initiative, referendum, and recall for a position. So, sila yung office to check if a candidate is suitable, okay, is acceptable to run for the office or run for a specific position. So, meaning sila yung nag-i-screen kung yung tao ba na yan ay karapat-dapat na i-elect ng tao, or yung tao ba na yan ay dapat bumoto. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, sila yung agency na mag-check. Kasi nga in the Philippines, bawal tumakbo there are certain points whereby COMELEC will disqualify an aspiring candidate. Okay? There. And the Commission on Election in the Philippines has commissioners and headed by a chairman, whom, again, like we have mentioned in the previous learnings or lessons, discussions, commission on appointments, alright, submit a list of candidates for the position of chairmanship under the COMELEC, and the president will appoint, okay, the chairman or the boss or the secretary of Commission on Election, or the cabinet member who will represent the commission in the national government. And that commissioner, or that chairman rather, will hold his office for 7 years without reappointment, meaning Mr. Juan is appointed by the president to be the chairman of Commission on Elections, so he will serve the office for 7 years, okay, and he can not be reappointed after 7 years, okay. Of course, for others to fill that position, also to give chance to others to serve. Maybe he can be transferred to other offices, okay, except for the Commission on Election. So that's the basic concept, or basic knowledge, basic information about the election in the Philippines. Okay, again, when you say election, it is a process whereby we elect leaders who will serve us. Okay, kaya nga sinasabi nila, these leaders, ang boss nila ay tayo, because we put them in their positions. And so, their functions, their obligations, their responsibilities and duties should be, okay, addressed. Their services should be addressed to the common good, or for the people, and not for their own personal gain or personal set. Alright, thank you, and that's it. I hope you're able to understand the lesson. If you have questions, you can message me on Messenger. Take care, and see you next time. Bye bye.